morning, everyone. Welcome to a lovely, wet and wild Tuesday morning. We've had, well, I consider to be delicious rain overnight because everything outside is all sparkly and clean and fresh, and I like that. So welcome to this week's topic of overcoming self-doubt. I was a little bit perturbed when you guys came up with this topic of self-doubt because, you know, I'm used to dealing with issues that people have around self-doubt very much on a one-to-one personal basis. So trying to break down self-doubt into a generic, understandable term, hi Christy, actually proved quite challenging. But I think I managed to do it, and I think I managed to do it really, really well. Hi, Victoria. So, first of all, before I actually start going into part one, what I want to do, this is what's going to happen in the next few days. This morning, we're going to distinguish between doubt and self-doubt, because there's a difference. I'm going to use the DARE system to outline what I believe it's all about. Part one will be, why do you even have self-doubt? Where does it even come from? Part two is applying DARE to a specific self-doubt issue. So it'll be define, assess, refine, and execute when you're thinking about a specific situation in your life that you're experiencing doubt about. The third part will be talking about self-doubt and incorporating some of the stuff that we've already been through. So, as I want to do, I make charts. So I will post this chart after the live feed. I also want to remind you all that you can always contact me via the link in the pinned post to talk about how some of my DARE programs might be able to help you overcome these issues in your own life. And that would be an instance of working one-on-one and working through these things as they arise. Now, I actually have 3 different program levels. So it's not just the 90-day program, which is actually now a 12-week program. There is also, anyway, there's now 3 levels of program that I have to offer. So if you want to contact me and discuss if any of those levels, hi Carol, would be suitable for you, please do so. Now, there is a questionnaire that you have to fill out, and that is to give both of us an idea of where you're at. So don't be afraid of the questions that I'm asking in that questionnaire. It really is to set your mind to understand what it is you want to achieve and what you're willing to do to get there. Okay? So got that out of the way. Good. The other thing is, when you're trying to work through issues like self-doubt, there are triggers left, right, and center. Okay? If you are being triggered, reach out. Reach out in the group. Or if you are having a serious reaction, then please reach out to organizations that are specifically designed to handle that sort of thing. Okay? As I mentioned in my post on, I think Sunday night, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor. I'm an intuitive healer and I work with energy. So I have had incredible success with my clients doing it that way. However, I am not a doctor, I am not a psychologist, and I am not a psychiatrist. Okay? We just need to get that out there right up front. So, shall we? Where does self-doubt even come from? Okay, so I posted this little meme yesterday, and it's I came up with that quite early yesterday morning. Self-doubt is about your past experiences, okay? Or what you've witnessed in someone else's past experiences. That is very different from doubt in general. Something in general, it's usually, I don't know how to do it, or I don't know when. You don't know the logistics, right? So there's doubt behind it, or you don't have all the information. Self-doubt is you don't trust yourself. Okay, you've got all the information, but you're still not sure. You still don't believe that you can do it. So that speaks to confidence, and it speaks to how much you trust yourself. And that is based on your past experience, other people's past experiences that you have witnessed, and here's the clincher, the way other people have reacted to your past experience. Okay? If you've had what could potentially be perceived as a failure, if other people reinforce that idea, hi Kelly, Ray, if other people reinforce that idea, so you have a sense of failure, and other people come along and they reinforce that, either through their actions or through their words, then that's going to stick. That's going to stick. And I'm not about reinforcing failure. I'm about flipping failure to what it really is, and that is another lesson on how not to do something, and insight on how to do something differently next time. So, we don't talk failure in this group at all. I won't have it. It's as simple as that. Because that cements the seed of self-doubt. If someone has told you or reinforced the idea that something you tried failed, you're going to believe it. But if someone comes along and says, you know what, let's remove that word failure from the equation and let's look at it for what it really is. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my chart, okay? Because this is where we actually get to the nuts and bolts of what self-doubt is about. So again, I've done it up on a DARE worksheet, define, assess, refine, and execute. And I'm just going to run through these things, not in too much detail, because I will post this in the group after the live feed. So we're defining what is self-doubt. A lack of confidence, a lack of trust in yourself, a lack of trust in your abilities, or a lack of trust in your knowledge. So in assessing that, why do you feel this way? Why do you feel that you're not confident, or that you don't have the abilities, or you don't have the knowledge? Several reasons could come into that. I've tried before and failed. I tried and was made to feel stupid. That's a harsh one, but that's the nuts and bolts of it, okay? You can put all sorts of other words around the word stupid, but at the end of the day, that's what it kind of comes down to. If someone makes you feel foolish for an action that you've taken. I feel that I failed. Hi, Keza. I was told it wouldn't work based on someone else's experience. So you're having a conversation with someone and you come up with an idea and they say, oh, no, that's not going to work. I tried this. That's their experience, not yours. It's like a no-brainer to me these days. Two more reasons. I tried and it didn't work out the way I expected it to, or I tried and then I didn't know what to do. So that sort of speaks to the lack of trust in knowledge. So when we now move to refine, which can also stand for, and it does also stand for, reframe with radical honesty. Okay, so what we do is remove the emotional fog and we look at the facts. Did you have all the information? Meaning, did you make an informed decision? So you go out there and you start this new venture, or you have an idea and you're going to, you go out there and you try it and it didn't work out quite the way you thought it would. Did you have all the information? Maybe you didn't, and that's why it didn't work out. I like this one. Did you expect to finish a 10K marathon as a sprint event? Did you come up with an idea and go, yep, I can knock that over in like, 3 days? And then you realize you don't have the materials, you don't have the resources, you don't have the knowledge, and you've tried to do a 10K marathon as a sprint event. That's never going to work. You got to be realistic. Did you allow yourself to reach out for the right kind of support? Okay. Big, huge. Guys, I talk about support all the time. I reach out to my support group countless times every day. I run ideas by them. It's priceless. It is absolutely priceless. So having the right kind of support. You don't go, and I used this once before, if you cut your hand in the kitchen, you don't go to a mechanic to tend to your wound. You go to a doctor or a pharmacy, or you go to your own first aid kit. You seek the right kind of support to get you through the situation you're in. Okay? Doozy. Is someone else's opinion more important than your own opinion of your abilities? Are you putting more importance on what someone else thinks about you than you are on trusting yourself and your abilities? Do you need to revise your expected outcome now that you have new information? No such thing as failure. You do something, didn't work out the way you thought, you have new information now. Awesome! So, do you then go back to your plan and go, right, so I've got this new information now, I get to rejig what I'm actually doing. I didn't fail. I'm reworking it with the new information. Every now and again, the heavens open up and the angels sing and the choirs burst into song. I love it. And in line with that, have the goalposts changed because you have changed? How many of us keep going down exactly the same past, repeating exactly the same processes, because we don't actually acknowledge that we're no longer that same person. And we keep trying the same thing over and over and over. Oh, it's not working, it's not working, it's not. You change. Situations change. New information comes in all the time. Are you being true to yourself and giving yourself the opportunity to really succeed by taking all of these things into account? I feel like I'm a preacher on a pulpit. Anyway, the next part of the process is to execute. And in this instance, execute also means eliminate the emotional fog and empower yourself with the facts as they are. Okay, going to read through this list. So these are some of the things that you can ask yourself when you start doubting because something hasn't worked out like the way you expected it to in the past. Ask yourself these questions. Thanks, Kelly Ray. I could have done more research into what was involved and the potential outcomes. I made a rash decision without having all the facts. Very clever. Very clever if you can say that statement instead of saying it didn't work or I failed. I made a rash decision without having all the facts. I've just empowered myself. I didn't fail. I made a rash decision. I'm acknowledging that something was lacking in my first phase. Simple. Simple. There goes the hairdryer. When I felt I was faltering, the people around me reinforced that idea rather than encouraging me to try a different avenue or a different way of thinking. And this is where the support comes in. The right kind of support. I didn't even try and find the right kind of support. I just went to the people I'd always fallen back on. Not saying anything more about that. I put more importance, and again, just remember that what the phase that we are in now is the execute, which is eliminate the emotional fog and empower yourself. Empower yourself with the facts, the true knowledge of the situation, and not the emotional fog of failure and all the awful sensations that go along with that. So I put more importance on another person's experience rather than finding out the facts for myself. So you've heard something anecdotally, and rather than going, you know what, sounds really good, but I might just find out, yeah, right, Kelly Ray, I might just go and do a little bit of, legwork myself and see what's actually going on. This is a big one. My past experience is driving my future action, even though I am no longer that person. The minute that you realize that you are no longer the person that made those initial decisions, because you have new information, a whole bunch of new circuitries going on in your brain. The minute you realize that, acknowledge it, bring it into yourself and go, you know what? I'm not the same person who, I so don't like using these words, but I'm going to use them, okay? Because it is real day life. Yeah. I'm not the same person who made those mistakes 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I'm a different person. Why am I allowing my experience from then determine how I move forward? Radical honesty. Radical self-assessment, radical self-awareness. I get intense sometimes, don't I? I need to acknowledge the lessons from my past experiences and not allow myself to be blindsided by the associated emotions. I need to reassess my goals and my action plan. So, what's self-doubt really all about? Self-doubt is about allowing your past to drive your future. Do you let a P-plater or a learner driver run a racetrack circuit? Because that's what you're doing when you rely on your past experience and the emotional fog surrounding it to drive your future. You're allowing a learner to run your racetrack. Doesn't work. Acknowledge for yourselves, you are a different person. You are much more empowered these days than you probably ever have been before in your life. Acknowledge that. Acknowledge that the experiences that you have had through life are exactly that, experiences and not failures. You want to start turning over self-doubt? You want to start overcoming self-doubt? Eliminate the word failure from your vocabulary right now. Right now. It plays no part. It serves no purpose except to keep you trapped in the past. Start acknowledging your past achievements that you're proud of. If you need to start building confidence, look at your past that way. Don't look at all the bad shit. The bad shit is the lessons that you then flip and you turn around and turn it into success with your next venture. And by looking at your past in a positive way, acknowledging the good things that you've done in life and the person that you've become because of it, you build confidence, which means that you begin to trust yourself. You begin to trust that you know what not to do. And you've got a pretty good idea of what you should do. Awesome. What more do you want? What more do you want in life? I understand that my past is my experience and it's my life lessons. And I understand that I've got enough knowledge now to move forward on the path I choose for myself. Right then. That got really intense there, didn't it? Guys, today's part one was about using dare to really, really look at what self-doubt is about. Tomorrow I'm going to put together a similar chart on what steps you can take to start reversing and overcoming self-doubt in your own life. So it'll be a similar layout to what I've done today. Once I get off this live feed, I will post this into the group and have a look at it, have a read of it, see if anything kind of, it's like, snap, 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 snap. All these little twisty ties in your brain will loosen. They'll loosen their grip on you. They'll loosen your grip to the past so that you can start moving forward. And that's all we all really want, isn't it? To move forward. And to move forward happy. And to move forward confident. Trusting in ourselves and our higher self that we're doing exactly the right thing for us. I don't even want to stop this conversation, but I know I have to. So much love to you all, and I hope you have a fabulous Tuesday. I'm going to go and work on tomorrow's slide so I can come to you as passionately and preacherish as I did today. I hope it didn't come across like I was preaching. Guys, have a fabulous Tuesday. I love you all so very much, and I hope that this information has helped you understand that you can turn anything around. You can turn your life around. You really can. You really, really can. And it's not hard. It's not hard to start. It can get a bit trippy while you're going through it, but it's not hard to start. So, much, much, much love to every single one of you. Thank you to everyone who came on the call this morning. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a fabulous day. Bye.